Around 1,300 Southern Africa Development Community SADC soldiers are preparing to leave Congolese soil as the M23 backed by Rwanda advances. Despite some diplomatic sanctions, Kigali remains firm, claiming it is defending its sovereignty. According to Congolese analyst Christian Moleka, this approach lays the groundwork for instability in the fragile and mineral-rich East. The complexity of the Congolese issue is that the stakeholders have always engaged in a balancing act, a form of tightrope walking, where one point is given to Kinshasa and another point is given to Kigali. This balanced approach is unfavorable to Kinshasa, while pressure, the necessary diplomatic action, the first sanctions, and clear accusation against Rwanda were directed at Kinshasa. Rwanda also received some small points that balance both parties. This position, unfortunately, will not fundamentally resolve the problem. It may calm things down today, but at some point, the international community must acknowledge that there is an aggressor and a victim. The Congolese security apparatus have always hinted at lack of finances and resources. During their capture of Goma and Bukavu, the M23 succeeded in recruiting dozens of soldiers who had also fled the National Front. Important reforms need to be made in the security apparatus. There need to be internal cohesion, return to calm within the country, and this will depend on the president's ability to maneuver, to have the political levers to build true internal cohesion, reduce the sources of internal conflict, and implement the necessary reforms, especially in military command, to have a capable army. Kinshasa still has strong reservations about participating in direct negotiation with the M23 under the auspices of Rwanda. For Christian Maleka, the DRC is forced to accept the dialogue. At worst, the government could try to delay the deadline by claiming the M23 is raising its demands. But Kinshasa has very little room to maneuver in not going to Rwanda. International diplomatic pressure are also on Kinshasa to open up the possibilities for direct negotiations. We saw it in Resolution 2773 at the African Union and at the joint EAC SADC summit, which calls for direct negotiations. There is also an underlying reality. The M23 in South Kivu continues to advance. Yesterday, it was reported that this island of Ijwi had been reclaimed by the M23, and so the fear is that the fighting will spread towards Kindu, Maniema, Shopo Kisangani, or Katanga. This risk of fighting spreading is also weighing on Kinshasa. Meanwhile, the security and humanitarian situation remains tense in several cities in North Kivu. The M23 is still being seen advancing in several villages in the region.